Hi, it's Laura with Tarot Squared. I'm going to talk a little bit today about picking a deck. A friend asked me not too long ago, how many decks do you have? And I said, I don't know, somewhere between 10 and 20. Not counting the deck that I illustrated, I have 12 decks. The artwork in all of them vary. Many of them are based on the Rider-Waite Tarot deck, which is probably the most common deck. If you're brand new to tarot, it's a good one to get because many cards in other decks will be based off of these images. When you're buying a deck, look at the artwork and see what talks to you. The artwork is going to be very different from deck to deck. So I'm going to show you, this is the Fool, number 0 in the tarot. It's the major arcana, the first of the major arcana. The Fool is usually talking about taking a journey and being excited and maybe naivety going along with that, a youthfulness, happy risks that we take that, we don't know where we're going, but we're excited to go. In the reverse position, this is from the deck I illustrated, Tarot of Little Secrets. In the reverse position, it often talks about foolish decisions, not thinking things through, being impulsive, those times in our life when you just maybe are making decisions based on not the best stuff. So that's the Fool in reverse. I want to show you two other decks. This is from the Secret Forest, and this is the Fool. And this guy's got wings and a spear, and he's getting ready to spear a wasp. So this Fool, I think, is a whole lot about adventure. It's a little bit braver than the other two Fools. It's a lot braver than the other two Fools. It's also, I think, it talks about having a little more of a purpose rather than just going with whatever comes along. And this is a deck that is very dark. This is from Deviant Moon. This Fool is nothing very happy here. He's being bitten by a fish. He's snarling. He looks like he's kind of coming apart in places. It's very dark. This definitely does not look like a happy journey, but once again, it is the Fool card. It is the same card in the deck. So when you buy a deck, it's good to get one in the beginning anyway, based on either get this deck or one based on this deck. And don't worry about memorizing them. I think a lot of, for me, what reading tarot is centering myself. Okay, we have two selves. We have our corporeal selves and our bodies here, and we have our higher self, our spirit self, that's connected to the greater universe. Now, our spirit selves pretty much know everything because they're connected to universe, God, whatever you want to call it. Our body selves can't know everything because we would just explode. So for me, when I read tarot, I'm getting in a place where I'm shedding the things of the corporeal world and communing with that higher self. I think it's important in doing that to know that when I read, I'm reading energy. And the cards can mean, you can memorize what they mean, but based on where they are in the spread and based on the question you ask, they can mean very, very different things. So just memorizing patent answers aren't necessarily the best thing to do. It's okay to study them and look at them. But when you pick a deck or whatever deck you're choosing, take a look at what the imagery, number one, why did you pick that deck? And, take a look at the imagery. And what is the imagery telling you about that particular card? So we are in the midst of a plague, and what does one do during a plague? One needs to find ways to be busy. At the beginning of the year, I decided I was going to illustrate another tarot deck, and I started, and then of course I got busy and I stopped. This tarot deck, based on the four suits, which are Swords, Cups, Pentacles, and Wands. Swords is air, Pentacles is earth, Wands is fire, Cups is water. So I decided to do things that were the air sign, which would be swords, things that fly, air. Earth signs, things that come from the earth. okay? Things you maybe can burn. That would be wands. Cups, things that swim. It's a water. So anyway, I'm going to show you a couple of the illustrations that I've started. And I'm doing them, I'm finding that I've got doing them on different papers, and hopefully I'll get them done. Maybe I'll get them done this year since I've got all this extra time on my hand. There was a period of time in my life where no matter what deck I used, when I would draw my card a day, now this is so bizarre, 3 or 4 times a week for months, probably 4 months, I drew the 4 of Swords, which is pretty much telling you to calm down, stay still, commune with your inner self, don't run around, collect the wisdom that you know, don't make rushed decisions. So this is, there we go, that would be the 4 of Air. I love bats. Bats are wonderful little creatures. I know that they're being blamed for this current plague, but they also eat a lot of mosquitoes. And you know what? They're not scary looking. They kind of, don't you? I always thought they looked like chihuahuas with wings. I hope Chihuahua people aren't going to be too offended by that. But that is one of the illustrations in the new deck that I'm doing. So for those of you that have a deck, pull your card today. For those of you that are looking for a deck, find the one that feels right in your hands, to your eyes, and in your heart. Till next time.